What's going on with y'all? It's Jeff Lightsy Jr. here with the Ball Sports Network. Thank you guys for the continued support. Continue to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Now, we just watched the best playoff game of the playoffs so far as Mr. Luka Doncic put on a virtuoso performance against the Los Angeles Clippers to tie the series 2-2 as Luka had 43, 17, and 12, I think. A 43, 17, and 12 rebound performance. No, 43, 17, and 13, rather. My bad, Luka. I didn't mean to cheat you out of your assist. As the Dallas, and the game winner. Oh, almost forgot the biggest thing. He had the game winner to win the game and send the series tie the series 2-2. Luka Doncic is amazing. He is a superstar. Let's just call it what it is. He's no longer a budding star. He's no longer just a European sensation. He is a superstar. The Clippers are supposed to be the best defensive teams in the NBA. They're supposed to be not one of the best, and they're supposed to have the best wing defenders in the NBA once again. They don't have Patrick Beverley. He hasn't played in the last couple games, but that didn't matter because the first game, Luka had 40 in that game as well. And Patrick Beverley guarded him most of the time, and he gave him most of those 40 points. Tonight, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Reggie Jackson, Marcus Morris. It didn't matter. The man, Landry Shamet, it did not matter. It was just whoever was in front of him was getting his work. And he gave it to every single person, and Reggie Jackson just happened to be the guy to get the game winner. A bad switch by Kawhi Leonard, by the way. But let's talk about the almighty Clippers. And Mr. Playoff P, Pandemic P, he shrank again. 9 points from Paul George. 9 points. He shot 3 for 14, 1 for 7 from threes. Now, there are shooting slumps, right? And then there's just bad play. Like, this guy is playing awful. I think this is the third straight game where he shot under 25%. He is the reason why everybody picked the Clippers to win the championship. Because Kawhi gave you 32 points. Lou Will gave you 36 off the bench. Paul George, 9 points. 3 for 14 shooting, 1 for 7 from 3. That's not going to get the job done. The Clippers, will they not win a championship if Paul George don't get his act together? They might be going home because Dallas played tonight without Porzingis. And once Porzingis comes back, a lot of people believe Dallas should be up 3-1. They ejected Porzingis from game 1 on just a weak technical, super garbage technical. They won another game with him there, and then they won tonight without any play. It was a late scratch because of knee soreness. Now it looks like he'll be back by game 5, and if the Clippers lose game 5, they might be going home. And they can't guard Luka Doncic like they haven't figured out how to stop this man. And that may not be a way to stop him, right? Dallas isn't your typical, just like a lot of people were telling me Portland isn't the typical 8 seed. They're the typical 8 seed and the Lakers are going to struggle, blah, blah, blah. I told them they weren't because they had LeBron, but nobody wanted to believe me, whatever. Dallas isn't your typical 7 seed. The Dallas Mavericks had the most efficient offense, one of the most efficient offenses in NBA history this season. Think about that. One of the most efficient offenses in NBA history, and then they just had 3 months off, 4 months off, or whatever. 5 months off because of the pandemic. And so, therefore, I feel like a lot of these guys, especially Luka, have taken their game to the next level during that time. Like, we see who was working during those 5 months off and who wasn't. The 4 months off, and Luka was working. He has essentially ascended himself into superstar category, top 5 in the NBA category, because that's what he's playing like. I mean, this man is playing like a man possessed. I knew Luka Doncic was a special talent for a while. But I didn't see this. I didn't know he was this good. I mean, I didn't know if he'd ever be this good. I mean, we're talking about a guy that now is in the conversation. I posed this on Twitter and got some good responses. Is he the best Euro player we've ever seen? Now, obviously, he doesn't have the resume that a Steve Nash or that a Dirk Nowitzki or Manu Ginobili or even a Tony Parker has because, I mean, those guys played 15 to 20 years in the league. But we're talking about a 21-year-old that's in his second season is taking over playoff games like this. None of those guys that I just mentioned, those other Euro players, was this good this early. None of them. Some of them were never this good. I mean, I'm here to argue that he's the most talented. I don't think not Tony Parker, not Manu, not Dirk, not Steve Nash. None of those guys were more talented than Luka Doncic. None of them. And Steve Nash was Canadian, so I don't even know if you really want to consider him like, well, let's just keep it to Dirk and Manu and Tony Parker. None of these guys were as talented as Luka. Not at any point. I think Luka hasn't even hit his peak. He's only in his second season. I think he's the best Euro player, just talent-wise, and he's doing it on the court that the NBA has ever seen. He came in as the highly decorated, the most had the most accolades coming into the NBA before the draft as a European player. He had the most accolades. He was the MVP of the highest Euro League at age 18. It had never been done before, and won the championship, won championship MVP, all of that good stuff. And now he's just proven that he's one of the better players in year 2 in the entire NBA. He'll be all NBA. He'll be, I think he averaged like 39 and 9. He'll be first team all NBA in his second year in the league. And this dude is special, man. But the Clippers gonna have to get it together. I mean, Paul George, I don't know what you need to do. I don't know what it is about the bubble that's got him playing the way he's playing. But Paul George is better than this. I mean, I like trolling Paul George and making fun of like him having bad games and stuff because the reason why sometimes I find enjoyment in Paul George not playing well is because he talks a lot, right? Like, he took a shot at one of my favorite guys, James Harden. He's like, I'm not James Harden. I do more than just score. Well, you ain't doing much, buddy. You know what I'm saying? 3 for 14 ain't much. James Harden ain't going out like that. You know, James Harden, people make fun of James Harden and talk about his playoff disappointments, but he ain't going out like this. Even in losses, James Harden had 38. You know, in the loss they had to OKC the other night. It's like, James Harden ain't playing like this, shooting under 25%. That ain't James Harden. He ain't going out like that, buddy. So Paul George is going to have to figure this out, or Dallas will be sending them home. They will be sending them home in the first round because Luka Doncic is playing out of his mind on a bad ankle with no Porzingis. That's how great this man is. You let me know. Will Paul George get it together? Will Dallas be able to figure out the upset, pull off the upset, the 2-7 upset? Man, it's looking like something. We got a series, fellas. And the thing is, I think it's like 80% of the time when you win Game 5, you win the series. Will Dallas be able to pull off a win in Game 5? I do not know, but it's gonna be fun to watch. Once again, my name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. with the Ball Sports Network. Thank you guys for watching. Continue to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.